Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In the previous video, we completed the design and we fetched the blogs up here. Since the API is not running, so blogs are not showing up here. Let me run the API first. And how we do that? We run our command prompt, and here we use the command JSON server --watch and the name of the file. This is basically, let me introduce you if you are new in this video. If you want to see it completely, that how it works JSON server, you can go to my previous videos and watch those. So when we run this command, it start acting like a fake server, and this address, we get this as our fake API. And if we paste it up here, we get this, and we refresh it. Here are the blogs, and when we click, we don't have anything. Okay, in this video we'll make a new page in which a blog with the details will be open as in the real website. When you click on read more, you will be directed to the new page, and the details of the blog will be shown on that page. So let's come to the code and make a new file, blog.html. Okay, and here let me link our CSS to the global CSS, because in this CSS, in this blog HTML, I am not going to like style anything more much than title and the context up here. Let's just say blog detail dot blog detail. Okay, here we will have h1 with the title and p with the context, and lorem 50 of v, save it. And as we know that the data is coming from here, from the script.js, and here in href we have nothing. That's the reason when we click on this, it just refreshes and does not redirect us to the new page. So how we can do that? What we can do, we can write here blog.html. So what it will do, it will redirect to us to the new page, blog.html. So we'll style something here, write a bit of the style, blog details. Is it details or detail? It's detail only. Let's just copy this, paste it here. Here we have blog detail padding. Why we just don't do it like copy from here and give it here? Sorry, blogs, to the blogs. Okay, here, and the same style is here. We'll give dot blog detail p, the same style which is to the h1, but the font size will not be 50 pixels, it will be 16 pixels. Font weight will be just comment it out. And if you go here on the details, it's showing like that. Why it is, oh, it's showing the grid. No, I don't want that. The only thing I wanted is was the padding. Okay, now it is looking fine. That when you click on any blog, it is taking us to the new page. Now our purpose is that we will bring here the content of the same blog on which the user clicks. When a user click on blog 2, the content of the blog 2 will be shown here. If he clicks on blog 3, then the blog 3 will be shown here, but the page will be same. only blog.html. In that case, we don't have to create so much pages for blog 1 details, blog 2 details, and blog 3. In this case, we are creating just one page, but we will be changing it by when the user clicks, we will be sending the ID. And how we'll be sending the ID? If we go to the script.js, what we can do, we can just pass the query question mark ID is equal to something. This is the way or in which in JavaScript how we can send queries in our URLs. Since we have the ID, so we can send that item dot ID. And from where we are getting this ID? Since localhost auto create this ID whenever a data is stored in the API, this ID is created automatically. So this ID is getting used and we'll click here. Let's save it, and when we'll click here, you can see that the ID is getting up in the query because we passed this in this URL. Okay, if we click on blog 2, then the ID 2 is passed. If we click on blog 3, then the ID is equal to 3 is passed. So what we will do, we'll fetch this ID when a user clicks on the blog. We'll get this ID, and this ID will be used to fetch the data from here. And how we will use this ID? If we just write slash and 2, it returns us the data of ID 2. So this is the way we can get the data from the API by using our IDs. If we write 1, it will return us the data of ID 1. If we write 3, it will return us the data of ID 3. If I write somehow wrong, it is going to return us an empty object. So this is how we'll get the data. Let's come here. First of all, get this queries in our blogs.script. But since we have not created our blogs.script, let's create it first. Script.source blogs.js. Click on it, create the file, go here, save the blogs.html, and when we come up here, we are just going to get the data like its class const blog details equal to document.getElement or query selector. And what is that? Dot. Okay, now we have getted that blog detail. Now we will use our URL equal to copy this. Let's copy this URL without the ID. Paste here. Since we have this URL, now we are going to make a function get data, and this function will do nothing but will get the data from the API by using ID. But first of all, we have to get these query prompts, and how we do that, we create a variable, and that is query equal to new URL search params. Okay, and here we see send the location from where you have to get the query params. This is a class provided by JavaScript, and we'll get this. And how we get this? We can get this by window dot location and the hint is given by the Java tab 9 window dot location dot search. We have to do nothing but just press the tab, and tab 9 will automatically do that. Now this all stuff is getted by this class, built-in JavaScript class. Now what we can do, so we'll say where parameters equal to object Why I'm using object? Because I have to make an object dot from entries of home entries query dot entries. This is the function. Since this has a function, built-in function, provided function entries, and we are creating a new object from this query. Okay, this is the function we can write to get the data from our query. Now if we write console.log parameters and call this function here in the beginning, let's just go and see what happens. In the inspect tab, console tab, we have an object and it has id of 2. And if we want to get the id, what we will say parameters.id. And if we refresh that, here we have that id, the same id we are getting in the URL. Okay, fine, we are good to go now. What we can do, when this page will be loaded, on the base of this we can get the data from here. Let's do that. Now use the fetch function. Fetch, here we have to use a URL plus what, parameters.id, and this will get the data, and then we'll say dot then response dot. This is a promise way, and what I would like to do, I would like to use async function, and I'll use where data equal to await fetch no fetch URL plus parameters dot id, and this will fetch the data, and we'll say while response data equal to json dot parse no await response okay data dot json, and here we have that. After that, let's see console dot log the response data. This is the same way I used in the previous in the previous video, where we fed the data by using the new syntax of ES6, where we use async function. What does this do? I told that in the previous video too, that we tell the JavaScript that you have to wait until this line is completed, and then you can go to the next. This is, you can think about it. We are getting the data, and this will fetch from this URL, and when the data is fetched, it will go to the next statement until it will wait. Okay, then the data will be coming up here, come up in this, because the data is not in the proper form, so we are converting from the JSON form into a text or object form, and then we are logging it. Let's see what just happens. And here we have that data. The content is, this is blog 2, id is equal to 2, and title is equal to blog 2. Now only thing we have to do, we have to print that data here. Okay, let's just see how we can do that. We have gathered the same element here, and we have to log details dot inner html is equal to, using the ES6 syntax of backticks, and here we'll say that h1 here we can use the same response data dot title, and here we have p, here we'll say response data dot post or content, sorry, that is content. Okay, it just auto refreshed. If I go back and go to the blog 3, the blog 3 data will be represented up here, but as you can see, if I go back and then go to the blog 1, a data appears and then it just hides. What we can do, we can remove this stuff, this, all of this. Now we don't have to worry. Let's go back and then come here, and the data is shown like this. And if we come from blog 3, and data is coming like this. Okay, we just got the ID from here, and then we use that ID to print the data here on just single page. Now we don't have to be worried about how our data is going to be shown on different pages. We just created one page. Even there are millions of blogs, they are just going to show here in a single page. We can just create here while going to our api.json, comma, id, sorry, why we just don't copy that the same from here and copy here for blog 4. This is blog 4. Just save it, and we go here, and here is blog 4, and we click on it, and here is the data of the blog 4. Now what I want to do, I want to create an admin who can post the data, and that data will be shown up here. The same data he can post directly here, and the same data will be shown. Now we are just doing it hard coded, like we have to come here and then paste it like this, and this is not a good way. If we see it in a coding manner in a real project, this is not a good way. This is not someone does in the real life. And what it does, that they have a admin panel, and they go to that and just post some data, and that data shows up here, and if they want to delete the data, that they can delete the data too. In this video we'll just post the data, and that data will be shown up here, and in the next video we may delete the data too. Let's create a button of admin here. I'm not doing authentication in this video. I'm just creating a button, and then I'll start doing the stuff. Okay, here I'll create a button with why not anchor tag, and here a button with admin, and here href, I'll say admin.html, and I'll create a file with the same name, admin.html. Since we don't have any work with the blog.js, let's just delete these, or not delete this, close these. Okay, save it. If we come up here, here we have button, but since this button don't have, let's just add class of admin, copy this class, and go here in the style dot, and write the padding of 1 em. Refresh it. No, why there is no padding? No, we didn't save it. So here we have a admin button. This is not looking beautiful. Let's just add some style dot admin button, padding 0.25 em, border none, and background color medium sea green, and border radius 4 pixel, padding should be 0.5 em. Okay, that is looking a bit fine. Why just we don't make it black, and color will be white? That will look great. Okay, that is looking fine. If we click on this, what it will do, it will take us to the admin.html, which is still not created, or it is created but there is no content. Let's just add some content, and I will say admin, and what it will have a form with the name form, and the action will take it from here to the index.html, .html, and form will have a field, let's div dot form control, and it will have a label for title, and it will say title, and it will have an input, and input will be text, placeholder will be title, and an other field div dot form control, and it will have a label with for text, no, for content, and we'll say content, the same name I used in the API, content and title, and we'll have text area, and it will have id of content, it will have id of title. Let's save it, and we'll have a button of submit. If I refresh it, okay, I'm getting a bad content. This is not looking really fine. Let's just add some styling, link style.css, and here we'll have dot form control. As you can see, I'm using only one CSS, and this is a good approach if you have not too much CSS. Dot form control display will be grid. Okay, what if I use bootstrap? Let me just go to the bootstrap. I'd use just this CDN, and instead of this, let me just add that. And if I come up here, refresh it, now I have to get the content from here. I'll go in the form section, in the form control, I'll go here, copy this, and in the form section, let me just paste it. Okay, it's looking fine. Let me just give the class of container, and to the button I'll give class of btn success. Okay, and from the top I can give empty file. Good. Instead of email, I can just change the content. Instead of email address, I'll say title, and instead of this placeholder, I can say title, and instead of text area, what I can say, I don't have to say anything. Okay, label, I'll say content. Okay, it is looking fine, it's great. Now we can act upon it. So when we'll click on this, it's working fine. Now we have to, okay, as you can see, when we click on submit, it's taking us back to this. The only reason is because I told this the action index.html. If I just remove it, it will not take me back to that. Submit, it's just there. If I just add the action, and it will take me back to the index to HTML. And that's what we want, that when the user clicks on this, he will be redirected back and the blog added by the admin will be shown up here. Okay, let's go and see. And we have to create an admin.json script, script.source, admin.js, save it, go to here, create the file, and here we have to get the form first. To get the form, we'll add the ID form. Since it is only one form, we can get it just by the query selector too. So what we will do, form equal to document dot query selector, and that is form. Now we have get the form. I will just add form dot add event listener, and on the when the user submit the form, what you have to do, you have to get the event that happened on you, and then you have to create new user data variable. And I am creating I want to get the data when the user submits, and I want to get the data from these two fields. To get this data, JavaScript provide us a new, you can say, class, built-in class, form data, from where we can get the data. Now we have to give here our form, so I'll give our form like event dot target, and here we have that. And if I console.log what user data, and if I come up here, first of all let me just remove it in case I want to get the data, and I have to do event.prevent default true, because it will not refresh the page. And I have to go to console and see what happens. It gives us form data, it has nothing in it. Oh, I think I am missing here that I have to data is equal to object dot from entries, what I have to say, user data, and then I can console data, and if I go here and I console, here we have that. That's what I was missing. So you get the data of the form by making the form data object, new object in some variable, and then you create the object from that you form data, because that's a prototype. So from prototype I'm making a simple object, and that object is the same data I'm getting up here, content and the title, and this content and title will be posted from here to this. How I'll do that, let's just see. It's very easy. What we can do, we can write here a post request by using the same syntax. We'll use fetch. Here we'll have to use URL, and to use URL I'm making URL equal to copy this. I just copied that, and I have to put URL, and here we have to give the data. First of all, we'll say the method, and the method is post. Now we have to clear the headers, and the headers are, the content type will be application slash note that one, application slash JSON. Okay, and after header, what we'll add, we'd like to add body, and what that body is JSON dot stringify what that data, and then we'll dot then response Let's just console.log. We can make an alert. Instead of console.log, we can make an alert. Data added successfully. Save it, and let's go back here, and I write some Rove is a coder. I submitted. Please include an email by the email. Oh man, I didn't change the type to the text. Sorry. Rove is a coder. Let's just submit, and data added successfully. Good. Data added successfully, and it just refreshed. Now if we just add here index.html in the action index.html, what it will do, it will take us to the index.html page. Rove is a lazy coder. I just added, it said that I added successfully, and when I'll hit OK, I hope it will take us to the index.html. No, it didn't took us. The blogs are added here, but it is not taking me to that. Why it is not taking me to that? Rove is coder. Submit. Okay. It is not taking me to that page. Why? I think it's because of alert. Let's see. I submitted. No, it's not taking me to that page. Why it is not taking me to that page? Okay, after that alert, window dot location dot href equal to, it should be, I think this is the syntax if I am not forgetting. Admin node index.html. Okay, I think this is the syntax. Okay, now we are getting that. If we just don't add the alert, then we get the function rove is a coder. If I just add it, get the alert, and we click it, it does not take us back. But if I remove this, it just takes us back. Let us just remove this too. No, it's not taking us back. Now we have to add this. Okay, window.location.href. After when the if the response is correct, then go back to the index.html. Now add Asad is coder. I just submitted. It takes me back, and if I refresh it up here, and these are the blogs added here. But the only issue that if I come back here, admin, if this is empty, it also takes it as a valid, and then it take me back to the index.html. In the next video, upcoming video, what we'll do, we'll add the validations up here. It will not let the let submit the button, and after that there will be all the blogs showing here too, and there will be a delete button with them, so admin can delete the blog too. So I hope you like the video. If you like the content, please like my video, like it. I hope you enjoyed it. My purpose is not to make some fishy stuff like very awesome styles and stuff. The only purpose is to make you learn something, teach something that actually works in real life and how we do work in real life, so you could jump into little projects and do the stuff, because in the real life most of the times we don't even do the stuff we do every time while learning. But these are the some important important tasks, you can say, which will be coming in the real world, like fetching and getting the data and posting, putting. This is all the stuff we do as a front-end developer. and I hope you are liking it. And I'll try to finish the series in the next video. I hope you like it, and will you meet in the next one. Thank you.